Growth and learning for the supervisor. Learning how to grow and learn is an important part of becoming an effective supervisor. Being open to change and cognizant of how you best learn and how you are most effective will help you take on the learning process and progress more quickly in your career. Stepping into your new role, the mental transition. This section of your training is meant to help you understand and embrace the reality of your new responsibilities and come to terms with what it means to supervise. It will hopefully give you some advice as to how to discover and ignite your drive to embrace this role and the new level of responsibility that goes along with it. Supervisor is not just a title. When advancing to a supervisory role, there's a great, maybe the greatest leap in professional responsibility at this company. Failure in a new role often stems from an individual's inability to recognize the profound differences required to be successful at a more advanced role. But recognizing is only step one. Having the initiative to embrace training and applying oneself fully to the requirements of a new role are not skills that come easily. Depending on your confidence, background, natural abilities, experience, and commitment to your own personal success, growing into a successful supervisor may vary greatly. Know yourself. Some individuals may be born to supervise or lead, while others truly must work hard to ascend into and succeed in a supervisory role. Whether your persona is a natural supervisor or a determined hard worker, you will be measured identically to your peers. It is not uncommon for the hard workers to do significantly better than those who possess inherent supervisory strength. This is because those who work hard to learn and become in tune with their role have more cognitive appreciation and understanding of the full picture of that role, whereas the natural-born leaders may tend to become overconfident and unappreciative and therefore miss important details. Regardless, if you made it this far in your training, you likely possess some level of innate leadership strength to begin with. So work hard to take training seriously and to learn as much as you can every day while analyzing your experiences and growing as a professional. Putting hard work and determination on your side can never be a bad thing. Enabling success. You create your own successes when you do what you love to do what you are good at, are honest and ethical, and act in sync with your principles, values, and beliefs. Being successful is about more than being good at tasks. There are important personal skills in yourself that you need to develop to be truly successful. For example, being responsible for your actions and decisions, being a leader and taking initiative, effectively managing your time, communicating well, working with others, and learning from your experiences. Taking responsibility for your decisions and actions starts with making decisions that guide your life both inside and outside of work. Balancing your life among work, play, family, and other activities is key in enabling overall success in your life. Additionally, how you react when things happen in life and the decisions you make in response will define your level of success or failure, and, if your eyes are open, will result in personal growth and career growth. Enabling success is about growing consciously. Having initiative and leadership skills is centered around making things happen, deciding what you want to do, selling others on those plans and ideas, and anticipating and breaking through boundaries. Leaders do not wait to be told what to do. They go the extra mile. With growth, this becomes easier, but many individuals find it very difficult at first. Understanding your circle of control. As you grow in your career, it is important to understand your boundaries or circle of control, what you can and cannot control, or where you can or cannot influence. You cannot be everything to everyone, and working in a team environment means that everyone contributes, not just one person or a few people. Once you get a grasp on where your abilities and job requirements collide, it's important to work where you have control. Know what's important and what's not. Know where you have leverage or where others have more leverage in your particular situation, and spend your time on important, high-leverage items over which you have control. That doesn't mean you can't step in when you're needed. Being a leader means doing whatever is necessary, even if it feels a little bit outside your job description. Being able to gauge when and when not to act or become involved and to what level is something that comes with time and growth. While a lot of this talk might sound a little bit fuzzy right now, keep the concept in the back of your head as you develop your professional self. If you keep your eyes open, you'll start to understand how the transition into this role happens and how keeping your circle of control in check renders better, more effective results for yourself and your position. Embracing change. Change can be very scary. People relate to what is familiar and comfortable and often shut down when change is on the horizon. But change is inevitable, and in business it is essential for bettering the business and maintaining a strong competitive edge in the industry. So, when a new change is being implemented, do your best to understand the change, why it's taking place, and do your part to implement it as best as you can without fear. The worst thing you can do is complain or work against the inevitable change. If you fight the change, you will be hindering the business's ability to move forward and will become a damaging force, working against the business's success, which can be a big problem for your career. If you take on change with an open mind and without being afraid, you will prove yourself to be a strong, adaptable, and highly bought-in member of the team. Understanding how you best learn. Your learning styles have more influence on you than you may realize. Your preferred styles guide the way you learn best. They also change the way you internally represent experiences, the way you recall information, and even the words you choose. Understanding the ways that you best learn will help you approach new materials better. If you know you learn better by a certain method, you will be more likely to retain the information in your training. Being able to communicate how you best learn will help teach your boss how to present information to you. In training, we try to present information in ways that appeal to all types of learners. Most learners learn best in a combination of styles. So being able to see, hear, and practice are all important parts of developing yourself in any position. Each learning style uses different parts of the brain. By involving more of the brain during learning, we remember more of what we learn. Try to pinpoint which styles work best for you and focus your learning there, while remembering that when you are training others, try to stay in tune with their learning styles as well. Here are some of the general categories of learning styles. Visual or spatial. You prefer using pictures, images, and spatial understanding. Oral, auditory, or musical. You prefer using sound and music. Verbal, linguistic. You prefer using words, both in speech and writing. Physical, kinesthetic. You prefer using your body, hands, and sense of touch. Logical, mathematical. You prefer using logic, reasoning, and systems. Social or interpersonal. You prefer to learn in groups or with other people. Solitary or intrapersonal. You prefer to work alone and use self-study. Strengths and weaknesses. It is not unusual for people to compare themselves with others around them and to feel superior or inferior toward them based on their strengths and weaknesses. However, every individual is different and every person functions differently based on their individual personality. It is important to know yourself and your capacities. Your strengths are things you can leverage at work and in life, things you can use to push yourself further and develop yourself into the best you can be. On the other hand, your weaknesses are not necessarily your downfall. These are areas you need to be aware of and possibly improve on. It is not something about lacking expertise or training, but it is something you need to develop, build, or at least mitigate. In order to leverage your strengths and improve your weaknesses, you first need to know what they are. Your strengths are things that come very easily for you. They are normally things that invigorate or excite you and which take little or no effort for you to engage with. Take some time to think about what comes naturally for you. It could be anything. Knowing your strengths is an important step in being the happiest in your life. Know your personal weaknesses. It is equally important to know your weaknesses as much as knowing your strengths. Your weaknesses hold you back from achieving certain things. Weaknesses are areas that you have the power to improve. It can be anything ranging from professional to social skills. By being able to pinpoint your weaknesses, you will be able to better mitigate any problems those weaknesses might bring into your work life. Why know your strengths and weaknesses? Knowing your strengths and weaknesses gives you a better understanding of yourself and how to function in the world. Understanding your strengths keeps you ahead in a lot of things. If you know the things you're best at, you can focus on those things and do them better than anyone around you. While you cannot ignore your weaknesses completely, you and the business are much better served if you're able to focus on what you are strongest at. Knowing your strengths also helps you to grow faster and to greater extents, because focusing on your strengths allows you to excel and enables you to aim higher, achieve much more, and keeps you motivated when you succeed regularly. On the other hand, knowing your weaknesses gives you a clearer understanding of the things that may be holding you back, and you can then work around finding ways to not let your weaknesses pull you behind, or find someone in your work environment who complements your strengths. Additionally, making sure you communicate your weaknesses with your boss will help him or her know how to help you in your training and advancement. Generally, it is better to focus more on your strengths rather than on improving your weaknesses. These are things you already are good at doing, so you won't need to invest too much of your time and effort into it, but they take you much further than your weaknesses. Focusing on your strengths is about seeking opportunity instead of solving problems. Instead of focusing on the negatives, focusing your energy on the things you are good at allows you to be much more effective overall. Focusing on things you are weak at has the tendency to decrease your self-confidence, enthusiasm, and overall performance. Usually, not much is achieved by trying to fix one's weaknesses. Having said that, working on your weaknesses is still important because it contributes to personal growth. And there are times when your job responsibilities require you to complete tasks that make you feel uncomfortable or draw from your weaknesses. You will need to work on those weaknesses and figure out how to bridge that gap. When you have something you are not particularly good at or that you dislike greatly, improving it even slightly can make a huge change in your overall performance. It normally doesn't make sense to try to fix or get rid of your weaknesses. It won't ever work. Instead, work around your weaknesses and find ways to work such that they do not hinder you or stand in your way. When a weakness is really getting in the way and you end up not completing your work, you could end up with problems. So make sure you communicate with your boss if you're struggling. It's equally important to understand both your strengths and your weaknesses, and essential for self-development and personal growth. There are a lot of amazing things that you can achieve if you know your true potential and capabilities. Avoiding instant gratification. Becoming a completely effective supervisor is not going to happen overnight. Avoid worrying about being perfect from day one. You will make mistakes and you will not be able to learn and implement every piece of your training on day one. Avoid seeking instant gratification or pretending like you understand everything when you do not. Ask a lot of questions and continue to grow. Once you have more experience in your role, circle back on your training so that you can have a better context. This will allow you to continue to improve in your position. Invest in yourself. Working hard comes in different forms. A handler, a supervisor, a manager, or the owner of the business may work equally as hard in a physical sense. But gaining greater earning power in general, and especially in America, isn't about how much you exert yourself. It's about how much you can learn and grow and then seek, appreciate, and apply knowledge to improve your well-being. In other words, you can be a pretty successful supervisor if you have drive, pay attention, embrace your training, and reliably come to work. But in order to really excel as an employee who has proven your value to the company to a greater degree is something only you can pursue. And it won't be simple, hard work that gets you there. Investing in your mind and your skills in a way that benefits the company not only increases your value to the company by affecting positive business results, but may also be key in your own personal advancement. In simpler terms, knowledge is power, a phrase you've probably heard before. A lot of knowledge you need to be successful in this company is handed directly to you in this and in subsequent training modules, because we truly want to see you excel in your role or in your quest for a bigger role. But you can take that quest for knowledge and open-mindedness to another level by investing in yourself and understanding the huge benefits education can have on your life. Formal or not, focusing on your educational advancement, starting with this training and taking it as far as you desire, are key to putting yourself in a position to being more secure and more fulfilled in your career, a role in which you spend a significant amount of your waking hours. Enjoying and feeling purpose in your daily activities should be one of your personal goals. So whatever that means for you, you should pursue that, even if it means you modify your role slightly to accommodate your own individual strengths. The further you move along in this company, the easier it will be for you to adapt your role to your own personality and strengths, such that you become not only a bigger contributing asset to the company, but also have a much better professional experience that hopefully can last for a long time and ultimately make you happier in at least one significant aspect of your life, your job. That is what this company wants for you. We love to be successful and see everyone who is part of that success be rewarded for their hard work, persistence, and drive. Growth and education are lifelong. This training was designed to give you a basic understanding of what you need to do and understand about working for this company, but it's barely the tip of the iceberg. Learning everything in this training is a good start, but experiencing it is another layer of growth. Even still, continuing education and refresher training or inquisitive research and learning are additional layers of growth. You can go through training and succeed as a supervisor thereafter. It is not necessary to seek extra steps, and it's okay to focus in where you do best. Show up and work hard, but always remember that opportunity comes with knowledge. Not all people are fit for management, and that's okay. Whether you are really feeling good about the supervisor role or feel like you're moving into a different direction, it is okay to be true to yourself and plan to do what's best for you. No one can blame you for that. Talk to a manager or mentor if you need guidance, or if you ever feel stuck or uncertain about what motivates you. We've said it many times in this training, and this business really believes that employee happiness is important for many reasons. First of all, it just feels better to see employees flourish and enjoy the company environment. But in addition, happier employees serve customers better, which in turn results in greater business success. It then comes full circle. Greater business success opens more doors for employees to gain more reward and for the company to grow and create more meaningful jobs and more passionate, motivated, and ultimately happy individuals. The result of fulfilled employees and happier customers makes owning and growing this business worthwhile. Now that you have completed your conceptual supervisor training and recognize how difficult it is to transition into the supervisor's role, it is time to go out and work full-time, live and learn, and grow. The job has a massive amount of work that must get done amidst the chaos of pickups, drop-offs, phone calls, and many other interruptions. Be aware that you are most likely definitely going to go through some very rough days at the beginning. It is something you have to experience to get the hang of things, but you will be stronger for it. Just try to remember and review what you've learned in this training and apply what you know when you can. Your managers know that it will be a struggle for you at first, and they are going to let you experience the struggle for what it is. It is the same experience that each and every one of them went through in their training. However, competency comes fast, and this business never stops throwing work at you. Within days, you will be amazed at the amount of information and responsibility you are able to handle. And within weeks, you will get the hang of things, and the day-to-day responsibilities hopefully will become a piece of cake for you. Everyone makes mistakes. You might mess up sometimes, and that's okay. Just pick yourself up, keep trying, and continue to improve. You are not going to know exactly how to handle every situation perfectly just by being trained conceptually here. You are going to have to go through some trial and error, and you might fumble around a bit. Making mistakes is part of the learning process. Be assured that managers are going to want to bail you out, but their training specifically recommends that they do not do so unless absolutely necessary. If managers provide too much of a crutch for you, you will never be able to supervise a shift effectively on your own. Use this training as a guideline for when to enlist the help of a manager. It is always okay to ask questions, but do not expect a bailout every single time you're behind. Work it out and figure out how best to get through it and take what you've learned to the next shift. There is nothing management and ownership of this company appreciates more than the ability to have a day off without worrying that a supervisor might not have things under control. Being a strong supervisor that management can trust when they're not around is extremely valuable. Strong leaders allow every member of the team to go home and relax, knowing that a competent leader is working who has everything under control and will not leave a big mess for the next shift to clean up, and without managers needing to feel a need to check in and hover over your shifts. Working to gain the confidence of your peers and your managers should be your goal. And the day a manager can rest easy knowing you have everything under control, knowing you will only call for legitimate, imminent concerns and emergencies is a sign that you excel in this position. Being responsible for a large number of dogs, a bunch of employees, taking care of customers, running operations effectively, and making sure the business is bringing in the maximum amount of sales while you are in charge is no easy role. But you will be able to do all of that and more as a supervisor in no time. Good luck, have fun, and enjoy the ride. This is the end of part 5 of your supervisor training, the growth and learning section. Next, we'll go into some business concepts. Thank you.